Your clothes speak so loud that I cannot hear what you say. And this is why image is so important in the personal branding process. Welcome to the Personal Branding Podcast with me, Gachara. And if it is your first time joining us, this podcast series is really about unpacking you as an individual to help you become the best version of yourself so that you can add the most value to your organization, to your community, and to everybody around you. When it comes to image and how we dress, a lot of people tend to think that it doesn't matter, that we can wear whatever it is that we want, whenever it is that we want to do whatever it is that we're doing. My dress, my choice. And yes, it is your dress, it is your choice, but we have to be aware of the impact the clothes that we wear have to how people perceive us, how they communicate with us, and how they relate with us generally. It's all about first impressions and perception management. I think I mentioned this before, but I will say it again because it is also important. First impressions. It takes 3 seconds to make a first impression. And if you make a bad first impression, you require 21 more opportunities to alter the perception of a bad first impression. And this is studies that have actually been done. Now, when somebody sees you for the first time, they will have biases for or against you based on how you're dressed and how you're carrying yourself. As much as we'd like to say that it's not about what is on the outside that matters, it's what's on the inside, what's on the outside matters a bit as well. Picture this, you're scrolling through Netflix, and what will determine whether you expound into a certain TV show or a certain movie is that cover picture, right? Because you've judged it literally by that first impression. There's a whole body of research that's actually done by these streaming platforms on a continuous basis to determine what type of icon to show different people that will make us want to click on it. It just shows how first impressions really impact or influence how we behave. When you see somebody for the first time, based on how they're dressed and how they're carrying themselves, you will start guessing how old they are, what they do for a living, what their social status looks like. Do you like them or do you not? Are they educated? Are they not educated? Are they wealthy? Are they broke? And you'll have all these thoughts running through your mind within the first 3 seconds, even before they say hello. In the same breath, somebody is thinking all those thoughts about you as well before you even get to interact with them. So what this episode is about is to ensure that the messages your clothes are sending are aligned or are a visual representation of your personal brand or the type of brand you want to create. Dress for the job you want, not for the job you have, right? If you want to become the marketing manager within your organization, you want to start dressing the way a marketing manager would dress so people can see, literally see, visually see the marketing manager potential in you. And no, it doesn't mean that if you don't dress nicely, you're not going to get promotions or anything like that. It just makes it easier for career progression because your clothes, your hair, your makeup or lack of your grooming is not a hindrance to career success. I don't know about you, but I really like people watching. And if you want to understand the impact or the power of first impressions, spend 30 minutes somewhere, like sit in town and just people watch. In fact, if you can people watch with a friend who you can banter with, it would even be better because it can be the most hilarious part of your day. And as people are passing by, start making assumptions on how old you think they are, or what you think they do, or where you think they're going, or what you think they're talking about. And I'm sure some of you have done this. You're sat in a restaurant and you're looking at the tables around you and you're already saying, oh, that relationship over there, this is what's happening in that situation. You're making all those judgments pretty much based on how these people are dressed and how they're carrying themselves. So keep that in mind if you want to internalize and truly understand the impact of image on how people perceive you and on your personal brand. The strange thing about image is that it's taken so long for people to understand the importance or the gravitas of how you're dressed is to how you relate and interact with other people. If you look at societies that have gone by, image, dress, and style have actually been the focal points of generations. They've been the focal points of community. They've been the focal points that dictate trends and times, right? Looking at the Africanicity trend, Africans living in the diaspora, noticing that the continent of Africa is really the motherland and they want to come back and they want to interact and engage with Africa, the motherland, brings to life movies like Black Panther and Woman King. And the reason we resonates so much with those movies is not just because of the strong African leads that are there, but also because of how they're dressed, right? And if you take the time to actually look or dissect the outfits that these people are wearing in both movies, a lot of those looks have been drawn from traditional African culture. And because of that, we then feel like, oh, this is actually for us. This is made by us and for us. The power of image. On a day-to-day basis, your image needs to be consistent with your vision, values, and goals. Dress the way you want to be addressed. Dress as if. If you want to become the big boss, start dressing like a big boss. Don't play the when-then game. When I get a promotion, I will start dressing better. When I get that contract, I will start dressing like this. You want to do all of that stuff now so that you're prepared for those successes when they come. On a day-to-day basis, your image needs to be consistent with your verbal and your non-verbal communication. Your clothes speak so loud that I cannot hear what you're saying. On a day-to-day basis, your image needs to be consistent with your environment, your message, and your audience. And on a day-to-day basis, your image needs to be consistent with your skills, your talents, and your experiences. What does that mean? As we are deciding the look we want to have, first of all, I am assuming that by the time you're listening to or watching this, you have thought about image and you have thought about how you dress. And you have not just put on clothes for the sake of putting on clothes because we need to cover ourselves up and leave the house, right? As we're deciding what clothes we're putting on in the morning, as we're deciding what that look is, you want to be intentional. Intentional is my big word, so I'm going to say it a lot through this series. You want to be intentional to ensure that your image is communicating the right messages to the people that you're talking to. So late last year, when I was doing a lot of work with female politicians, because our goal, of course, was to try and get more women into leadership through the ballot as opposed to through nominations, there was a very big conversation about image. And we literally helped a lot of these women create two very distinctive looks. There's the city look and then there's the village look, right? So in the city, they're wearing their nice fitted skirts, trouser suits, they're looking like power women. But then they're like, Olive, campaign. If I go for campaign even in trousers, the perception of my people, because of course they're going to engage with a more conservative group, right? So when I talk about your image being consistent with your environment, with your message, it's about looking at the different spaces that you're in and understanding what the image expectation would be when you're in that space. I remember having to buy a full suit because I had a client whose dress code within the organization was very conservative and very, very formal. Now, for some of us who've been in like semi-formal consultancy type gigs, we can do formal well, but not like super formal. So I thought to myself, being an image consultant, how important is it for me to go fully suited to a place where the dress code requirement is a full suit? I could have chosen to show up smart formal. I would still have looked credible. I'd have still looked reliable. Subject matter would have still been on point. Or I could do what I did, is go in a full suit so that you actually look like them. You blend in and fit in with their company ethos and their company expectations. And then you even find that they appreciate the effort. They realized, in fact, there was one lady who said, Olive, I've actually never seen you in a full suit. I mean, you're always very formal and smart, but I've never seen you in a suit. I was like, but the dress code in your company is a suit, so what else would I wear? Ignorance and not arrogance is assuming that what you wear when you show up to work or when you show up to meet your clients doesn't matter because you're the best at what you do. Unfortunately, you can be having doors closed on you or behind you or in front of you that you're not even aware of because you had one small faux pas or because your look was not aligning with the company or the organization's overall image, overall ethos, overall expectations. Now, this does not mean that we all need to go out and buy full suits, that we all need to go out and start dressing formally. In fact, I was talking to a friend of mine the other day and he was saying how he needs to go out for investor meetings. So he needs to go and look and pull out his suits. And I told him, but you're a developer. If you show up in a suit as a developer, they will start shukuing you. They will start doubting you because everybody expects developers to be in jeans, sneakers, and a hoodie. So you need to dress the part so that when people see you, they see the super developer in you. So whatever dress code you think works within your industry, I like to say, do it with style or do it with swag or not at all. Because your image is your company logo. Your image is your brand identity. It's the first thing that people see when they interact with you. So where you want to be, ideally, is a place where your image or your look lifts your confidence, it makes you feel comfortable, it makes you feel seen, it makes you feel like you are ready to step out as the best version of yourself. The personal branding process has a lot of internal work. In fact, it's akin to coaching or to working with a life coach, because you're really digging deep to figure out why you are the way you are, what you like to do, and all those fantastic things that we've talked about in our previous episodes and that we shall of course continue to talk about. But what we're doing here when it comes to image is making sure that we package all of that awesomeness in a way that awesomeness is communicated. Regardless of the look you're going for, whether you need to be formally dressed, whether you can get away with being smart casual, whether you tend to be more laid back in jeans and sneakers, the most important thing is to ensure that you look well put together, you are well groomed, and you're carrying yourself with confidence, which is another big thing to be discussed in a future episode. I shall give you 4 tips or tools that you can use to ensure that your image is aligned with the personal brand you already have or that you're trying to create. We all have a look, and we have those clothes that we tend to gravitate to. Let's become, again, intentional about what that look is. And how do you determine what your look should be? The environment you're in and the work that you do will go a long way in determining the type of look you should have. And there's also your personality. And there is a style personality quiz that I have put in the description below that will help you find out what your style personality is or what your fashion personality is. Because, for example, there's some women who can put on red head to toe and they will look fantastic. They're like, hey, that red suit, it's perfect. Somebody else wears the same red suit and they can't carry it, right? Your personality also in some way dictates the type of look you should have to ensure that at the end of the day, you shine through as well and your clothes don't carry you. Once you've defined your look or you have an idea of what you want your look to be, it's important that you dress for your body shape. In fact, your body shape will to some extent determine the type of look you should have. I remember when Barack Obama became president, everybody wanted to wear the Michelle Obama dresses. But not everybody has a body shape to pull off a Michelle Obama dress. If you look at Max with the abs, he has a completely different body shape from the other guy that doesn't have abs and has like a big one pack, right? And so they will dress completely differently. If you want to know what your body shape is, there's a couple of videos that we've done on our YouTube channel, the link is in the description below, that unpacks 6 body shapes for women. And we shall also do men soon, don't worry, so that you can at least know where you fall. And this will help you create your look with a bit more confidence, not wondering, is this right or is this wrong? Also, feel free to send me some questions and I will see how I can help you figure out what your body shape is. Then we have your wardrobe. As you're unpacking yourself as a person, it's also important that you unpack your wardrobe. Did you know that most people wear 20% of their wardrobe 80% of the time? Yes, the 80-20 rule applies in fashion as well. Who would have guessed? So it's most likely that you wear the same, always speaking from the top. In fact, you're even the person who will probably go to the laundry to look for that one shirt, yet you have like 15 others. As you're building your wardrobe, it's important that we are intentional to make sure that most of our wardrobe, 80% of our wardrobe is a representation of that 20% of clothes that you like. That again is a whole other conversation, but start looking at your wardrobe and see, is it a representation of how I want to be seen? And lastly, whatever you choose to wear, whatever look you're going for, make sure that everything fits you perfectly. And how do you know if something fits you perfectly? It's all about comfort. If you're wearing a skirt and you have to keep pulling it down, it means it's probably too tight. If, gentlemen, you're wearing a shirt and these 2 buttons are bulging, it means it's probably too small. If you find that you're always adjusting the clothes that you've worn, they either don't fit properly or they are not fit for function. In all my trainings, whenever we're talking about image and dress, one of the things that I always say is that there's no such thing as a bad hair day. The only person who should know that you're having a bad hair day is you and your hairbrush in the morning in the bathroom. Same thing when it comes to image and dress. There's no such thing as stepping out kifua. In fact, if you find me at home chilling and say, Olive, let's go shopping, like grocery shopping, I will still not necessarily dress up, but I will change from what I'm wearing to be a bit more intentional with how I step out into the world. If you think that this is a bit of an exaggeration and that no, image is not that important, think back to that day when you are properly dressed up. You know, that day when you're wearing the perfect suit or those perfect jeans. Everyone has those perfect jeans, even dudes, I know. You find that you're standing taller, walking with more confidence, feeling yourself more. If somebody derails you asking, do you want to go here or there? You're like, yes, let's do it. You're like ready to face the world. Imagine what your life would look like if every day you stepped out of the house, you felt like you were ready to face the world. And if you do 10 million things like all the hustlepreneurs in Nairobi, and you don't really know what type of look to go for, the rule of thumb is always dress for the most important meeting of the day. Always dress for the most important job. So yes, you might have your 5 biasharas, but then there's that one where you know people are going to judge you based on how you're dressed. Dress for that one and you'll automatically fit into the rest with ease. As I walk with you on your journey to create a strong, credible, consistent, reliable brand, it is my hope that your image, how you dress and how you present yourself will not become a barrier to you achieving or becoming the best version of yourself. Thank you and go change.